Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a month or so. I am almost in my second trimester, but today I wanted to make something maybe more light, something different. Can be controversial because everything is controversial. I hope I'm not gonna upset anyone. I'm going to compare Canadian pregnancy healthcare to Polish healthcare. I have never given birth or been pregnant in Poland, but I am in a lots of group. I have been with my first two children and now with my third, and I am also in like American Canadian group as well, so I think I have a little bit comparison based only what other people tell me. Obviously I didn't experience myself that, but I think it will be very interesting, and maybe next week I will do the difference in raising children in Poland and Canada, and that one's gonna be controversial 100% because the differences are huge, like huge. You have no idea how different the approach is, but for today maybe just the pregnancy to make it something else. And please, if you have different experience than what I'm saying right now, know that I don't know everything. I just took like that basics kind of layer and just put it all together, and here's the comparison. So let's jump right into it. So first, in Poland there is two types of prenatal care. First one is from your taxes, so you have a free healthcare, and you also can go privately. And I will tell you right away that what I see is that, I don't know, like 90% of Polish women, of at least what I have noticed, is that they go and they have the private healthcare. It's due to the same doctor who takes privately, and from taxes, let's call it the doctor from taxes. They have totally different approaches. Same doctor, but they will treat you differently sometimes. In that not private healthcare, they will just give you very little information. They are very dry, they are not very welcoming. Of course not everyone, but just saying, generally speaking. And that doctor that you pay, even the same doctor, will give you all the information, will do the ultrasound, will check you out, will be talking to you, giving you information. If they do ultrasound, they will tell you everything they see. You will get beautiful pictures, but this is all generally speaking, right? It's not always like that, but yeah, most of people do go privately and from taxes at the same time. So all that blood work and everything is for free. So here is the second thing. In Poland you have so much more tests done through the pregnancy. I think you do like urine tests like every month or so, the same like blood tests. They constantly do blood tests to see if everything is fine, where in Canada you have like there is some blood test when you do with that beta HCG, or also they do two beta HCG, one and then another, but as usual you go privately. When in Canada it's only one to confirm the pregnancy, and then nothing. Anyway, the blood test, yeah, there's so much more screening, I would say. The ultrasound, so private, you have ultrasound every single time. Also the gynecologist, there is no midwives, there is only gynecologists. They have the ultrasound machine in their office, so they do it right away, and they will also tell you everything what's wrong right away. Versus in Canada, I am going to a technician who does everything, and then those results are sent to my doctor and he calls me and tells me what's what. So I think I do prefer the Polish way over here, because you know everything right away. Sometimes waiting, I feel like it's more stressful than hearing the bad news right away. The amount of ultrasounds, yes, the private is every single time. When you go on a tax then it's only free, I think, one in each trimester, but it also depends on the doctor and on the place and all of that. In Canada, with my 2 little ones, I had first one at 12 weeks, then 20 weeks, and my gynecologist sent me for the third one because I am quite small and she wanted to see how big the baby is. This time around I already had many. Why, I'm gonna talk about it other time, but I had 1, 2, 3, and I had 2 days ago the 4th, so it's quite a lot so far. But if it's nothing, you know, going on, then you're not going to have that many. Or I would just say that the baby is completely fine. It's not about that. It's not about the baby. Anyway, so that's about that. The next thing is about making sure that the pregnancy lasts in the 3rd trimester. So many women gets medications. If they have any, you know, bleeding, anything, they will get medications for that to keep the pregnancy. They will also be staying home and, you know, being advised to stay in bed, where Canadian women still have to go to work. That's the biggest difference, that many women can go on sick leave at any point in their pregnancy they feel like. If you have stressful work, by the way, seriously, who doesn't have a stressful work these days? No one. There is always a boss on your head, you always have so many responsibilities to do. Who doesn't have a stressful work? But you know, if you say that your work is stressful, you will get a sick leave, 4 weeks pregnant, 5 weeks pregnant, 6 weeks pregnant, whatever, and you stay home the whole pregnancy. Okay, I know that right now the government kind of checking that more, but you know, even like 4 years ago when I was pregnant with my first daughter, every single lady in that group was on a sick leave because they absolutely could not work. Okay, but then holidays comes, and what's happening? They cooking free dinners, you know, they have to make 5 salads, and they have to wash every single window in their house and everything. But they are so sick that they absolutely cannot work, and that's, I would say, it's the biggest difference. I, in my first pregnancy, stopped working at 37 weeks and I took the maternity leave right away. Otherwise I would have to work to the day I give birth, and that's difficult, I'm not gonna lie. It would be lovely if at least the 3rd trimester the woman could stay home and, you know, get ready and catch a breath, but that's how it is. So they got on the sick leave, they paid 100% of their salary, okay, during that period of time. They got on maternity leave for 12 months. If they get pregnant, they can either way continuing the maternity leave, or they can break it and go on sick leave for like another whole pregnancy and then get the maternity leave. Usually when they come back, the employer tells them, thank you so much for working for us, but here is your, you know, sorry, but you are laid off, we don't need you anymore. And they are always upset about that. Anyway, the culture of work, it's totally different, so maybe that's why, because the employee doesn't respect the employer, but also the employer doesn't respect the employee. I was working in Poland before, I know how it is. People are much more outspoken, they more likely tell you rude stuff or give you eyes. You know, Canada, it's more like politically correct. You can't really say whatever is on your mind. There are some kind of, you know, rules in the workplace, and yeah, like people is just, I don't know, it's just totally different, trust me on that. The other differences is also going back to the medical care, that they check your cervix much often, and you know, they always say that they have some kind of infections. Like, I did not hear anyone on American groups saying that they had some type of infections. I don't know, maybe they have so many infections and short cervix from, you know, checking that all the time. I don't know, I'm just saying, because it's just weird that like the same kind of issue doesn't exist as much in Canada as it is in Poland. Everyone have a short cervix and needs to lay down. Anyway, this is just my observation, okay? I don't want to be mean to anyone, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. It's just how I see it. I may be wrong, because obviously I just have like a limited, you know, group of people to observe. Then what's other difference? I think women are more aware in Poland of baby making. Really, like, you would be surprised. Really, like, just more knowledgeable. Women are more knowledgeable, generally speaking. I will tell you more about that, the baby raising. That, yeah, like, Polish women are definitely more aware of you know, babies' backs, you know, like to not to sit them, to not to put them in jumpers. That's gonna be a huge topic over there, okay, next week. Anyway, what else? In Canada and in Poland, there is the genetic testing at 12 weeks, you know, average 12 weeks, from 11 to 13 weeks, 14 weeks. And then the difference is that in Canada, if something comes back wrong from that, you know, blood test, like with me, with my last baby, then watch the video about the Down syndrome scare. In Canada, you are going to get the other blood test, a Harmony or NIPT, whatever. I actually see that in American group, a lot of you ladies just do this NIPT test right away at 10 weeks, and you know gender from it right away as well. In Canada, it's free if you know, the first blood test comes back bad, and then you can go for aminopunction if you wish. In Poland, you know, in Poland that's not the case. You have to pay a few thousand zloty. Yeah, it's very expensive there. Or you can just go for aminopunction. Like, obviously taking blood is much easier than, you know, needle in your belly. Obviously the aminopunction gives you answer for sure. The blood test can still be a little bit wrong. It's like only like small percentage, right? But I know that it may not be as accurate. Anyway, I think it's good to do the blood test first before the aminopunction, and then make your decision based on that. We didn't do aminopunction last time because there was no need for that. The Harmony testing came back great. So yeah, in Poland you have to pay for that. Also, you know, in Canada, if you know, want to do abortion, you can, and you will get a full support of it. In Poland, as of right now, it's completely illegal. And even when it was legal, I had a friend with 2 kids, one pregnancy after another, that had trisomy 13 or 18, I don't remember right now, and she had 2 abortions around 16 weeks, and she had to travel from one point of the country to the other, and at the hospital she was treated horribly, like a piece of garbage, and they were yelling very loud, oh, the lady from abortion, room number this, right? So everyone could hear. So even though it was legal, it was still a traumatic experience. As far as I know, she has 2 healthy kids now. But yeah, right now you can't do that anymore. But that's, you know, also conversation for another day. Anyway, I think those are like the biggest differences, that like people take a lot of medications in Poland, where, you know, in Canada you don't get any medication to help you keep the pregnancy. I don't even know how those medications are called in English. I have never heard of them. I'm pretty sure they exist, and you know, maybe if you are from IVF or whatever, they will look at you closer. But if you conceived naturally, you know, maybe have some like little problem, you're not gonna get any medication. When in Poland they take so many medications, like, oh my god. Oh, and often they can get it by themselves somehow, so they are not even prescribed medicine, you know, you would just get them somehow, like the woman just buying from each other. You need a prescription from that, but you know, if someone has a box left over, they will just share with another woman who did not get that prescription from the doctor but decided that she does need that medication, so she's just gonna take it on her own. So those are the biggest differences. Let me know what you think. Please be respectful. This is just, you know, a light video, okay? I don't want it to be a reason to argue. I don't want Polish people to come here and yell at me. Last time they did when I posted a video about Poland. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I see you. Please comment down below, where did you find me, what would you like to see next, and I hope I will see you next week. Bye guys.